Hello, 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 and welcome to Liza's BLTs. What's a BLT? It's a body love talk where we talk about everything from emotional eating, confidence, self-care, self-love, boundaries, and so much more. Who am I? I am Liza Lomax. I am a transformational mind, body, and food coach. So I get to help folks drop weight without dieting or exercising. How do I do that? By helping them transform their relationship with their body. So today we're doing a continuation of what I talked about in previous past videos of emotional hunger versus physical hunger. So if you haven't checked out my other videos, be sure and do so, as well as hit the subscribe button to get notifications when new videos are released. So probably recognized yourself in at least a few of the previous descriptions, the video that I talked about last week. But even so, you'll want to get even up, you'll want to get even more specific. So one of the best ways to identify patterns behind your emotional eating is to keep track of them with a food or mood diary. Every time you overeat or feel compelled to reach for your version of comfort food, kryptonite, take a moment to figure out what triggered the urge. If you backtrack, you'll usually find an upsetting event that kicked that emotional eating cycle into place. Write down, the food and your mood in the diary, what you ate or what you wanted to eat, what happened to upset you, how did you feel before you ate, what you felt as you were eating, and how you feel afterwards. Over time, you'll see a pattern emerge. Maybe you always end up gorging yourself after spending time with a critical friend, or what I like to call energy vampires, just the people that just kind of suck the life out of you. Or perhaps you stress when you have a deadline, when you're on a deadline, or when you have to attend family functions. I know that was a huge thing for me in the past. It's like I would get so anxious and be so nervous to visit family functions because there was just so much controlling and manipulation that went along with that. And I really, really struggled with that at the time. But once you identify your emotional eating triggers, the next step is identifying healthy ways to feed your feelings. So find other ways to feed your feelings. If you don't know how to manage your emotions in a way that doesn't involve food, you won't be able to control your eating habits for very long. Diets so often fail because they offer logical nutritional advice, which only works if you are consciously controlling or consciously control your eating habits. It doesn't work if your emotions are hijacked during the process, demanding an immediate payoff with food. In order to stop emotional eating, you have to find other ways to fulfill yourself emotionally. It's not enough to understand the cycle of emotional eating or even to understand your triggers, although that is a huge step. You need alternatives to food that you can turn to for emotional fulfillment. So, some alternatives to emotional eating. If you're depressed or lonely, call someone. Call that person that's always there for you, that makes you feel better. Play with your dog, your cat. Look at your favorite photo or cherished memento. If you're anxious, expend your energy, your nervous energy, by dancing to your favorite song, squeezing a stress ball, or taking a brisk walk, taking a walk, getting out in nature. If you're exhausted, treat yourself to a cup of tea, a hot cup of tea, take a bath, light some scented candles, wrap yourself in a warm blanket. Do all of those and wrap yourself in a warm blanket afterwards. If you're bored, read a good book, listen to a podcast, watch a comedy show, explore the outdoors, like I just said. Turn to an activity that you enjoy, something that you love doing. Pause when cravings hit and check in with yourself. So have a check-in moment. Most emotional eaters feel powerless over their food cravings. And when the urge to eat hits, it's all you can think about. You feel an almost unbearable tension that demands to be fed right now, right then and there. Let's do it. Because you've tried to resist in the past and failed, you believe that your willpower isn't just up to snuff, just isn't up to par. But the truth is that you have more power over your cravings than you think. Take 5 minutes before you give into a craving. Emotional eating tends to be automatic and virtually mindless. Before you even realize what you're doing, you've reached for a tub of ice cream and polished off half of it in seconds flat. Or you grab that big bag of Doritos and you've eaten almost the entire bag. Or you've got a whole tub, those big tubs of blueberries. Even though it's healthy for you, you've just mindlessly ate and ate and ate, not even thinking about it. So before you realize that you're doing all these things, if you could just take a moment to pause and reflect when you're hit with a craving, and give yourself the opportunity to make a different decision. Can you put off eating for 5 minutes? 5 minutes. Or just start with 1 minute. Don't tell yourself you can't give in to cravings. Remember, the forbidden is extremely tempting. Just tell yourself to wait. Or tell yourself, I'm making a conscious decision, a conscious intention not to eat this particular thing at this moment. I know it's a complete disservice to me, and I'm choosing not to eat it. While you are waiting, check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What's going on emotionally? Even if you end up eating, you'll have a better understanding of why you did. This can help you set yourself up for a different response the next time. Yes, there's always going to be a next time. Learn to accept your feelings, even the bad ones. While it may seem that the core problem is that you're powerless over food, emotional eating actually stems from leaving powerless over your emotions, feeling powerless over your emotions. You don't feel capable of dealing with your feelings head on, so you avoid them altogether with food. Emotional eating is just a symptom of something that you're not wanting to have a heart-to-heart, face-to-face conversation about. What are you avoiding? Avoiding yourself to feel uncomfortable emotions, I know, can be very scary. You may fear that, like Pandora's box. Once you open the door, you won't be able to shut it. And everything's just going to come flying out. But the truth is that when you don't obsess over or suppress your emotions, even the most painful and difficult feelings will actually subside relatively quickly and lose their power to control your attention. So to do this, you need to become mindful and learn how to stay connected to your moment-to-moment emotional experience. This can enable you to rein in stress and repair emotional problems that often trigger emotional eating for you. So next time, I will be talking about how to indulge without overeating by savoring your food, and supporting yourself with healthy lifestyle habits. That's it for me today for Liza's BLTs. Tune in next week for another episode of Liza's BLTs. And be sure to hit the subscribe button below to get notifications when I release new videos. Have a great day, everyone.